What is up, my brothers and sisters? It's your boy Juice. For the longest time, I would say that there was two types of people on YouTube. And one was those who work for the elites or they're paid to say the things that they're saying to help push the narrative of weather, geoengineering, or all these other like conspiracy theories that people believe, like sun simulators, weather, geoengineering, amongst all the conspiracy theories that you hear out there. Like they're paid to say these things, and that's why they have so many subscribers and they get so many likes and so many people watch them, because they've brainwashed the masses to believe these things. And these people that are paid to say these things are playing into the narrative of the bullshit that it captivates the masses, and so the masses flock to them, and they're paid to do this. And then two, the people who legitimately believe the bullshit and are not paid by the elites or YouTube or whatever, right? Like they just legitimately are naive and oblivious, and they firmly believe this like the masses do. And so they unknowingly help push this misleading information. But I've come to accept that there's a third type of person. And the third type of person, I'll give you an example too, is the kind of person that takes advantage of the situation. And maybe they've had a channel for some time, but maybe they do believe it, maybe they don't. But regardless, their intention is to say these things, for instance, weather, geoengineering, because they know that it's going to get likes and they know that it's going to get people to flock to their channel. So they're going to run with it, right? They'll take advantage of the situation. And I'll give you an example. For instance, when the North Carolina floods had happened, I was looking into it, doing my research, and all these people kept saying a land grab, and they were doing it because they found a bunch of lithium there, which I have yet to come to an understanding if any of that's true, because all these people were saying all these things, and yet none of them were true. None of it was true. None of it. And just like the Maui fires, right? They said that there was laser beams. They said that, you had all these people saying all these things, pointing fingers. They said it was a land grab and it was for smart cities. And I have yet to see any proof of that either. So all in all, so far, everything that has happened was all a bunch of internet bullshit that people were just making up and passing around. And a lot of it may even start by people who purposely push these narratives, and then it spreads like wildfire, right? Like a virus, right? And then everybody starts saying, well, it has to be that, right? It has to be lasers. Well, it has to be weather, geometry. And then the rest of the people run with it, and then it just spreads like a wildfire, and everybody believes it, even though there's absolute zero proof in any of it. And there's absolute proof that what they were saying was bullshit, because none of it came to fruition and none of it happened. For instance, the smart cities aren't built. The lithium mine, there's no lithium mining going on, right? Like I don't understand. So if they were wrong each time, or they have no proof in each event, then that means you're wrong about everything, because you literally just came up and made up a bunch of bullshit, right? And then everybody started believing this bullshit, right? So let me give you an example. When the North Carolina floods had happened, there was a lady, because I was doing this research and I was looking at what was going on, right? And I'm like, I just don't see the narratives that people are pushing, like weather geoengineering, the lithium mining, right? I don't see it, right? There was other things happening that were odd and questionable, but as far as like the lithium mining going on and all that, and the weather geoengineering, like there's absolute zero proof that any of that occurred or happened, or if that's the reason why. Even as of right now, after all this time. So with that being said, there was this lady, now I'm being thrown at all these videos on YouTube because of the algorithm. And then it has to do with all these narratives of weather geoengineering and people who are there who are saying that this is happening, that's happening. And really, a lot of that probably isn't even true. A lot of that is probably people who aren't even from there. You know what I mean? Because because now the algorithm's pushing all these narratives, and it's just funny because my outlook and perception of that, all of that is bullshit, is shadow banned and censored and never gets pushed. But yet, if I was to say that it was weather geoengineering or that they was doing this lithium mining, my video would get pushed and I'd get hundreds of views, hundreds of likes in the algorithm because I'm saying this shit, right? But I'm telling you the truth, and the truth is always shadow banned and censored, and that's exactly what's happening with me, right? Everything that I've been saying, everything that I've been showing, is not pushed. It's shadow banned. And then not that it's shadow banned and pushed anyways, but so many people believe what the masses believe that when they actually hear my truth and my perception and outlook and proofs, they don't believe it. Like they won't believe it, right? Like they can't believe it, even though it's the truth. So with that being said, there's this lady that I'm watching who's getting pushed in the algorithm. And I guess she has like a homesteading channel. And she's pushing the narrative that it's weather geoengineering and it was the government and blah, blah, blah. But you got to pay attention to the details. And a lot of these details just over people's heads, or they just like they're oblivious to like what people are saying because they're just so right into what they're saying that like even what they're saying, even though it doesn't make sense, like people are going to see past that. Like they don't see the details. And what I mean by that is like this lady keeps pushing that she's from there, which I don't even know if that's true, right? Like we don't even know if this is true. Like she might just be saying that shit because like there was a flood in North Carolina and she's taking advantage of the situation. She's also taking advantage of the situation by saying it was weather geoengineering, knowing that people are going to come to her channel, that people are going to agree, she's going to get subscribers, right? Like people are actually looking at her channel now, for instance. So then I come across another video of hers and she's showing like how she has all this, like this garden, and she's growing all these vegetables and fruits in a greenhouse. And what I mean by paying attention to the details is she goes on to say that I do this and I have a greenhouse and I cover all my plants, and because she said because of the stuff that they're spraying up there. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you're saying that you put all your fruits and vegetables that you're growing in a greenhouse because of the stuff that they're spraying? Wait a minute. And I'm like, did you not hear what you just said? Lady, pay attention to the details, right? If they're spraying stuff in the air, in the sky, then that means it's in the air. That means it's going to go under the door. It's going to go in through the windows.